Hello, teachers. This is Haven Daniels from the Perkins. I'm here to give you an introduction to investigations 4 through 5 and 7 through 12. We will cover the close reading in our next screencast. These lessons are grouped together because in them students learn about woodland and freshwater plants, woodland and freshwater animals, and they observe changes in the aquarium and terrarium over time. Let's go through each lesson. In Lesson 4, students observe, draw, and describe two woodland plants, moss, and a tree seedling. They describe what they think plants need to live and the similarities and differences between the two woodland plants. Students observe and draw the woodland home after putting the moss and tree seedling inside. Lesson 5 parallels Lesson 4, only this time students will observe freshwater plants. You can put the plants or pieces of the plants in clear cups with water so students can observe them close up. In Lesson 7, students will observe their first animal, a freshwater snail. Remember to utilize the background section in each of your investigations. It will definitely help you feel more informed and at ease with interacting with organisms in a way that may be new to you. Venn diagrams feature prominently in the organisms unit, and they are set up in a unique way. I find that preparing a few ahead of time using the same object to trace the circle so that they are the same size to be very helpful. Record students' snail observations on the left side of your circle. Observations that do not describe the snail can still be recorded to validate student participation, but write them outside of the circle. New questions can be added to the observation table that you made earlier in the unit. These questions will reflect animal observations that students are beginning to make. When students record their observations about the pond snails on record sheet 7A, they will only draw and write on the left side of the paper and on the top of the back. Make sure to point this out to students. In Lesson 8, students will observe the second of the two freshwater animals, guppies. Their observations are recorded on a second Venn diagram, this time on the right side. By physically combining the two circles, you can see how the animals are alike. To elicit additional student ideas, you can ask your students questions like, what do they do? How do they act in the aquarium? What do they need to live in the aquarium? Let's look at some first graders at work.
Write a story. Write a story about your fish. Give it a name. What happens with the snail. All those kind of things. And you can involve math, and it's so much easier because it's just right there. They can see it. They can touch it. And a class aquarium does not provide that. We're going to look at our observations and think while you're sitting down, just think about some of the observations that you made about our guppy today.
You can watch this whole video at carolinacurriculum.com/stc/elementary/organism/index.asp, and it is the second video on that page. In Lesson 9, students observe pillbugs. They observe, draw, and discuss them. So here's a little video of some pillbugs. They're very cute. And pillbugs are wonderful little creatures that kids really enjoy. Many of your students will have seen them before, either during their kindergarten Animals 2x2 unit and or in their own explorations outside. Please consider going on a pillbug hunt with your students. If you get this unit during the winter, you can always go in the spring and help students recall previous learning and make connections. Record what students would like to find out about pillbugs on the left side of their Venn diagram, using the same procedure you did with the pond snails. When students record their drawing on record sheet 9A, they will only draw and write on the left side of the paper and the top of the back. Make sure to point this out with students just as you did with the pond snails. In Lesson 10, students will compare another woodland animal to the pillbug. Depending on when you get the organisms kit, you will have either ordered millipedes or best beetles. They are both amazing creatures, and your students will be happy to study either one of them. So here's a little video of some millipedes. They too like to curl up. Well, make sure if you do get the millipedes that you secure the lid with tape or with a binder clip, and also taping the air hole on the top of the lid closed is a good idea. Millipedes are very good at escaping. Oh, so you may get the best beetles instead of the millipedes if you get this kit in the springtime. And the best beetles look a little scary, but they are not going to hurt you at all. They're super cute, and they were probably the only animal in the elementary curriculum that I was really nervous about holding when I became a science teacher, but now they are by far my favorite critters. They sometimes make a little squeaking sound when you rub their backs. So definitely read up on them and try your best to feel comfortable before you introduce these animals to your students. Include student observations on your Venn diagram and combine it with the pill bug observations. In lessons 11 and 12, students check in on the aquarium and terrarium to see what has been going on. Some changes that may have happened are listed in your teacher's guide. Both of these lessons have students add to their previous notebook pages that they completed in lessons 4 and 5, rather than create new entries. At some point between lessons 4 and 12, you can complete the close reading selection entitled 4 Amazing Plants. You will find this story at the end of lesson 13, and we will go over this and more in our next screencast.